Hey everybody, my name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker from the Netherlands, and you're watching a pre-recorded live session, unedited anyway. And here the Buler Worldtimer. What do you think of this? Looks impressive, but always a but in watchmaking. Buler is less quality, but then again, it still can be exciting. We're not snobs here at Chronoglide, we just love watchmaking. So Buler has probably got a pin lever escapement. Worldtimer. The time between given places is always the same. The only thing that can change is your place on the globe. Well, here we can set the hands. And it's just a fixed set of hour wheels there, and those are rotating, and then you can pull this lever that will release those hands, and then you're just setting the time, the place where you are at that moment. Just the concept, and it is just lovely. Swiss made, for what it's worth. And here, base metal bezel, stainless steel back. So only the back, the case back, is stainless steel, and the rest we'll probably see under the microscope. I thought we just saw a bit of yellowy base metal. I'll show you on the microscope in a moment. So let's see what's on the inside. Because it's less quality, it just feels harder to open. Probably some burrs somewhere. And there it is, the pin lever escapement. There. It isn't much, but I think the complication will be fun, and I really like to see how they did it. Here, sugarloaf screws for the dial feet. It is a pin lever escapement, the cheapo version of the Swiss lever escapement that we are used to. And here you can see the base metal already, and I think some burrs and some horribleness, but still interesting, I think. Again, hi to everybody, because you're here every single week, but it is a pre-recorded session because I'm traveling Scandinavia at the moment with the moose on the loose. There we are. Well, let's have a look in more detail. Pin lever escapement is notorious to work on. There's already a lot of play. And the wiggle test with some packwood, so don't make any scratches. I go back and forth on the main barrel. See if all the power is from the mainspring. Yes, it is. So the wiggle test tells you so much about the state of the pivots. All I do is go back and forth, and that motion is transferred in the gear train. You already see there. Get it in focus. Well, no rubies. No jewels. Or maybe one, probably one. There. the escape wheel pivot, and there the one ruby, and it probably says here 1 jewel. There it goes. And maybe I'm missing something over the years, but why just a 1 ruby there as a capstone? Doesn't make sense. It all just makes it run marginally better with dial side up. But is that 1 capstone so important? It works only in pairs. So if you want to do 1 jewel, it is, in my view, window dressing. It's got a ruby in it. Wow. So what? The one thing I don't know is here the release construction for all those hour wheels. It cannot rotate. So I probably just have to remove that screw to release this stem. It's not a winding stem. But you see the state of the... It doesn't look worn or anything. It's just made, well, industrial. And they're the pin lever escapement. No rubies. So with the rubies there on the pallet fork, there and there is a larger sliding surface. So the impulse is longer, more effective, so the amplitude is higher, and all of this is cheapo. But then again, it's fun. It is what Timex has done for a long time. Because there is so much space between the actual movement. I know, this is the main plate and that's the movement as well. Quite aware. But because there is so much room between the bridges and the cocks and the case, I think I remove the balance wheel first. Let's get it out of the way. And then we can see the pin lever escapement. Well, first things first, I take off the ratchet wheel. And we can see the state of that. There are quite a few 70s watches, maybe 80s, come to think of it. That's got a lovely design. Sima made quite a few chronographs and stuff, and they look beautiful on the outside. And then you have a look on the inside, and it's just this. But fun. And what I think is inspiring, even though we work on really quality watches, is not just the elegance, but how it's working. The design, the concept. Here, there's a pivot point, and there is, well, just like a banking pin, and just the hole that it sets, it is making sure working as 2 posts, so it cannot move too far. So even though it is simple, we can call it that, it is well thought through and mostly even reliable. Okay, there are no rubies, so the reliability or accuracy is far away, but how the parts are produced can be a real inspiration. When you think of this, well, this is Swiss, but no springs, no screws. It is working just like a treat. Working a treat. There. Too much play, but not that excessive. Doable with hammer time. And the Swiss lever, I say Swiss lever escapement, I mean the pin lever escapement, is used for quite some time. I think it was Oris with his, well, quality now, here, no double roller, no D-shape jewel. It is so effective in the design. I think Oris used the pin lever escapement to well into the 60s. And here it just looks that the pellet fork is upside down, but if you don't have a double roller, it doesn't matter. Do you see that? When we say double roller, nice to be in the workshop with all the models. This is a Swiss lever escapement with the pellet fork and the two pellets. Everything red is ruby. Pellet, pellet, impulse jewel. And the construction is so much simpler, less effective, but, well, lower cost. So it looks upside down, it just isn't. Let's remove this pellet fork. It's been years and years since I worked on pin lever escapement. So quite enjoyable already. Yeah, there we go. This, well, let's call it cost-effective way of producing, strangely enough, and I don't mean this in any negative form because I'm not that kind of person, with a pin lever escapement like this, it is slightly frowned upon, especially upon collectors, connoisseurs, just a pin lever escapement. And as you can see, it isn't that elegant, but it is effective. When we translate that to Japan, the Seiko philosophy, it is a pin lever, it is a Swiss lever escapement, and reliable, accurate, and well made. please don't see me as a hater, because I'm really not. But the cost-effective way of producing quality watches, well, the Far East ran with it and made them their own. I just saw something. What's this? It's a burr, not even a hair. It's a piece of metal. So the cost-effective way, where it can be done cost-effective, Seiko perfected that. And here, this is, oh, here you can see that there is only one ruby through the whole of the, there. Do you see the shiny bit in the middle? There. That is the, I wanted to say capstone, but it isn't the capstone. It's a piece of metal. That's why I'm convinced that just the one ruby or jewel, stone, is probably marketing or import customs requirements, that a watch has to contain rubies to be Swiss made or something like that. Because pure for function, there is no reason why to do just one ruby, one jewel, like it's stated there. There isn't. So there are requirements probably why they did just one jewel. Probably to make it Swiss made. Here. Swiss made. Impressive, guys. Well. We all know that the Dutch cheese is superior to the Swiss made. So, with cheese making, it isn't that impressive. Cheers, everybody. Again, so nice that you're joining us, but it is a pre-recorded session because I'm traveling Scandinavia at the moment. Cheers. And if you're interested, probably on Polar Steps, if you're familiar with it, an app where you can see someone's travels. You can follow me on Moose on the Loose. Cheers. And that is nice. So, first things first, how to release this stem. Did you see that underneath it was rotating as well? There. Large shoulder. So that will probably... There we are. Then you can see it cannot rotate. So it was just secured with that one screw. You just saw this bit rotating with the screw. If it kept on rotating, I was screwed. Because there was no way to release the stem. These movements aren't made for maintenance or longevity. Just a bit of fun and that's it. Low cost, why do you want maintenance? Just buy another one, was the philosophy. And as long as you're open and transparent about it, no problem whatsoever. Okay, it isn't top-notch high horology, but if the price is nice and you enjoy the design, yeah, sure, why not? If you are going to market it as Swiss made, so it must be quality, that's a different story. Is that a five? Oh, there's more there. Here, there's more metal. Yeah. It looked like a hair or a fiber, but it is metal. It's just... there as well. And that is probably a hair. Or fiber. There was a piece of metal. There's some oil, lubricant. What is wise? And what I love is that I think this is 60s or 70s gut feeling. Maybe there's a Buler enthusiast who knows so much more about these models and the brands than I do. Gut feeling 60s, 70s. There are so many remnants of pocket watches. Just like that. Just like these screws. They've been used for a very, very long time, but originally they were in the pocket watches. So, two of these. The one and the two. And well, I wanted to say because I don't want to make any scratches or well, still you have to treat it with respect. Here. That's what I wanted to see. Even though it's out of focus, you already see there's the base metal. Do you see the yellowy gloss? So it is nickel plated brass base metal, some cheapo alloy. So if you try to polish this, you get a beautiful yellowish watch. Because you're only removing the nickel plating. Maybe you were just thinking, why am I fastening the screws? These screws, these skirts, are cutting in the dial feet. So usually you screw them tight, and then during the unscrewing it cuts in the dial feet, because during the unscrewing it's getting higher and higher and higher, so it pulls the dial in its place. So usually with these dial feet screws like these, you are unscrewing to secure the dial feet. I hope that it makes sense, because the screw will come up and it pulls the dial even tighter. There's some paint there from the outside. Do you see that? I really would love to see the technical solution they used to drive all these hands. And maybe interesting, time for a coffee, but interesting bit. Cheers everybody, even though it's pre-recorded. Thank you so much for joining me. And now, as always, you see the added value of a chat and the interaction with you guys. That is what it makes exciting for me to make these live streams. The time difference between Paris, New York, Sydney and Tokyo is always the same. It is a given. Simply because it's simple. There are 24 hours in a day. Right? And we know the Earth revolves once every 24 hours. Because that constitutes a day. And we know one rotation of the globe is 360 degrees. So every 24 hours there is a revolution of the Earth of 360 degrees. That makes 1 hour 15 degrees rotation. So far so good. So these are a given. I didn't even check or calculate if the dials are okay at the moment. During assembly, you have to be really careful to place the hands in the right. So these are always the same, the difference between the place of the hands, because of the place on Earth, globe. Yes, Earth is round, trust me. And so 1 hour is 15 degrees, or the other way around. Always a given. So let's remove the hands. It is a cheap watch, and we already see that the N for New York is printed badly, and Sydney and Tokyo, well. So the quality of the print isn't that good. So then I opt for the wider levers. So the pressure is not in just one place. But then again, I try to get underneath. So maybe the smaller ones as well for the subdials. So first the normal hands. Feels okay, but we already saw that here on the sides the paint came off just from being in the case. No need to grip the hands, just do this. There we are. And now these. I have to concentrate for a moment. Quite stuck. Not sure, maybe. Yeah, let's have a look. There we are. Let's have a look. And this was what I really would like to see. How they done the 4-5 hour wheels. And how they designed the release with the extra stem. Get my nail in between. Well, soft material. Sorry, it's out of focus. Like this. There we are. Ooh, well. Bom, bom, bom. Literally nothing to see. There is absolutely nothing. Well, that's it. Just hit the like button and we're done. Talk about the anticlimax. Wow, look at this beautiful design. Well, we do see there that the hour wheel well, then again, well, if you like the stream, please hit the like button. That would be really helpful for the growth of our channel, Chronoglide. So there is just a normal hour wheel driving 2 wheels, and there are the 4 pivots of the hours. That is the hour, minute, seconds. The only thing that is a bit worrying is this piece of barbed wire underneath. No chance I can grip it without leaving marks. But if I release the plate, there, and there, will it join the Swiss space program? I am really not sure. I just made the decision not to try to work it out with the plate in place. But we'll have a look. The 3 screws released, and now we still haven't seen anything. Okay, I'm going to lift it there. There is nothing underneath here. And why is there no spring there. Look. That is just strange. And now this piece of horribleness. Well, first things first, secure that piece of horrible barbed wire. There. I just secured those two yokes. That one and that one by placing it here, because there is quite a bit of tension, because in my world this is a huge spring and looking horrible. So this is just a setting lever or a yoke. Click, click in two positions. This is blocking the hour wheel, this one. So there must be a slip underneath those four wheels, or maybe here. Yeah, there cannot be an individual slip, so the slip must be in here. Not just the friction for setting the hands, but another friction so the hands can set and these wheels can stay stationary. If there was a slip in there, there was a chance that the hands would differ. A cheap watch and still technically interesting. Love, love, love this stream. And here, this is why it was revolving while unscrewing, remember? Because it's just riveted there. So during assembly, I will take a pointy stake from my staking set and just one tiny tap so it's back like that again. Here, Technologia, nothing there, just wheels. But still a bit strange that that wheel, particular wheel, didn't have a spring. Look at this. Why should there the low coffee alarm? Why should there be lubrication? Cheers everybody, lovely, lovely stream. To do. I'm not sure if it's nice to watch. But you always learn something. If you ever encounter a watchmaker that, oh, I've seen it all, I've been doing this for 160 years. No, you haven't seen it all. There's always something else. If you think you've seen it all, then you haven't looked back in history enough. So the next plate, because... I don't think I can remove this one. No. There. So, the next plate, because I don't think I can remove this one. No. There. So, the next plate, because I don't think I can remove this one. No. Why is the hole exactly the size of the teeth? Not because it has to be pushed down, because it isn't. Strange. So, there we go. There is still a technical feature here. This is just a cap metal. Again, no technical reason why there has to be one jewel, because the one they opted, the cap jewel on the visible side of for the balance wheel, there is no technical reason why that particular item should be made of corundum or ruby. No chance. This is the mystery item for me. This must be where the magic happens. Yeah. You see the friction plate? Cool. Love it. Here. Because there had to be a friction somewhere. Yeah. There we are. You see, the metal bit is stationary, or the silvery bit, and the brass is rotating. That tiny spring there is the reason why you can set the hands with all the 4 hour wheels just in one place. Again, such an elegant design with the minimum of individual parts. This is all so well thought through, designed, engineered. Okay, the execution is cheapo crap. Still, there is love for horology and fun in telling the time and making it exciting on the dial side. So there you don't see a brass cannon pinion too often. Because now, here doesn't need to be friction. The friction was not in the cannon pinion, because it was in the hour wheel. Not too many parts, and still sorry, I'm just this is still real horology to me. I really do mean that. What is this one securing? Oh, whatever. Oh, that's for just that plate. Why the second screw? On the same place. Maybe just one threaded hole, because I don't think they grip into one another. I have to be extremely careful with the sweep second pinion there. Very delicate. Don't you think it's interesting, even though it's a cheap movement, the decisions being made, the design, lovely, lovely, lovely. One big plate, bridge, and again here you can see that it's never designed for maintenance. It is built like a clock. Slightly larger. It's been such a long time since I worked on a pin lever escapement, and this Worldtimer was just new to me. Of course I worked on many Worldtimers, but this design was different. There is the There we are. What's all this? What's all this? Oh, I thought it was something on top. Why do you want to make a D-shaped hole to inspect your mainspring? Didn't you think there was something on top there? Or was it just me? Again, like everything, nothing has changed in 200 years of watchmaking. A main barrel, 1, 2, 3, 4 wheels, an escapement and a balance wheel. And if the escapement is cylinder escapement, or pin lever like this, or what we're used to, the Swiss lever escapement, the concept is all the same. Pivots look okay. I think it stopped on old... Oh, there's some fibers there. Do you see that? I think the watch stopped on the burrs and old lubrication, but there's not too much wear as far as I can see. What's this? There was a hair, I think. Do I want to look it up? I don't want to see. Well, it is the cheapest of movements. It wasn't any real good when it was brand new and just produced. It had a lovely complication as a Worldtimer with 4 or 5 hour hands. I love the slip on the central hour wheel. So you can set the hands without moving the, well, Worldtimer hands. It's been such a long time I worked on a pin lever escapement, and I can tell you I thoroughly enjoyed it. Not too many parts, and not elegant, but fun and honest. It's not an expensive watch. You don't pay too much for it. It will not last generations, but then again, especially when we clean it, it will run for a very long time. But still, to me, real horology. It's been so much fun. Well, sorry it was a pre-recorded session because I'm in Scandinavia at the moment with the Moose. My Volvo with 380,000 kilometers on the clock. All of you, thank you so much for your attention. Please hit the like button if you like the stream, and hope to see you soon. Hey, see ya. Bye bye.